Bam, we're live.
Yeah, bam, and we're live.
Bam.
Welcome to You Should Fact Check. Welcome to You Should Fact Check This. I'm your host, and Peter's also your host. And my name is Devon, and Peter's name is Peter. And I already said that, so we're rolling. But yeah, so on this podcast, we're just going to talk about. I'm going to bring some business and tech stuff that I'm interested in. And Peter's going to bring some sports, maybe some physical exercise stuff that he's interested in. And then we're just going to talk about it. And we're going to talk shit. And you should probably fact check it because most of it's probably going to be wrong. And then we may occasionally do a thing where we look at different news sources and try and compare and contrast based on, political parties or just news networks or, whatever. So that is what this podcast is going to be. This is the first episode. So if you're watching, bear with because it's going to be bad for the first one. And hopefully over time, maybe we get to number 250 and we'll start getting our footing, and maybe get like 3 or 4 views by then. So it should be a good fun thing for me and a buddy to do. And I want to preface this by saying this was my idea.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
I have the text that was like, hey, we should start a podcast.
Yeah, he may.
And then you're like, oh, that's my idea.
Yeah, no, he may have said that. However, it was my idea, but so long ago.
Mine was the most recent idea.
Well, no, so
Peter
got interested in Joe Rogan. And started listening to a few Joe Rogan podcasts and then decided that he wanted to be Joe Rogan, but with a buddy who knows what he's doing. And and so that's what got him excited about it, even though I've wanted to do this for much longer. And that's the truth.
You should fact check that.
Okay. So first,
Dad,
what?
do you swerve on the road when you see like a squirrel coming into the middle of the road?
Shit. Probably not, honestly.
You're one of those.
Yeah, wow. No, I definitely don't because it's for sure not worth it to swerve.
Well, we just got a massive snowstorm here in Montana, and I was just driving, and the squirrel came, and this car in front of me slammed on their brakes.
Oh, also don't slam on your brakes. Neither of the sort.
Well, I mean, there was a squirrel. So
if there's a squirrel and you're on ice, you don't swerve or you don't brake. You just run it over.
Well, I mean, it was life, so you don't want to murder life, but...
No. You didn't murder it. It murdered itself.
Oh, yeah. Those things are quick, though. Those things get out of way of tires.
Right, exactly. And it could crouch in the middle for a second if it needed to.
Right.
But I would strongly advise against swerving.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind next time a deer runs into the road now.
Yeah, well, yeah, you should. I mean...
Oh, you should swerve now against deers?
No.
Deer?
Not necessarily. It depends on how fast you're going.
Interesting. All right.
So there you go. There's your, that's the podcast. Thank you for listening. Dude, what? I don't even know where we were. I was going to get into some of my stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have something else that you wanted to say?
Can I share my bold claim of the day?
Yeah, you can share your bold claim of the day.
All right. Bold claim of the day. All successful people were bullied as kids.
I don't even know if that's a bold claim.
That's a pretty bold claim.
Do you think so? I mean, maybe against the non-successful people.
Yeah, I bet people that weren't bullied. I bet people that weren't bullied just hear that and are like, whoa, I'm successful. You know?
Well, it depends on if they're successful. I don't think people are just like, oh, I never got bullied and I'm not successful. I'm successful.
I just swear every single successful person I hear or like know that is successful, they were bullied as a kid.
Yeah, well,
It builds character.
they had to learn how to get through adversity. A lot about
Yeah.
a lot of success is just about being able to get through adversity.
Right.
So, yeah, of
So it's
course.
bold. It's a bold claim.
Who do you think who do you know that's gotten bullied that's successful? Like bad?
Myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You?
I did get bullied. I'm not successful yet though.
Yet.
Right.
That's the right mindset, right?
Yeah, but it's not a guarantee that I'll be successful.
Oh yeah, I guess not.
But I can tell you
don't.
I can tell you someone who got bullied terribly and is very successful.
Hit me with it.
Might actually be the most successful.
Jeff Bezos.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
He almost got beat he got beat like within death. Like he almost died from getting beat.
Well, that also begs the question, why as a society do we hate successful people?
No, I mean he was literally like in middle
No, no,
school.
no. I know. But like there are a lot of people that don't like Elon Musk because he's successful. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of people that don't like Jeff Bezos.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a lot of that is just people. Most of the time, when you don't like something about someone else, it's a reflection of who you are rather than a reflection of that person. So if you're pissed off at Elon because he's successful, it's because you're insecure about being unsuccessful.
And you were not bullied as a child.
Yeah, most likely not.
Yeah.
I mean,
therefore, my bold claim is
at least not hard enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but there's a difference between, I don't know, there's new bullying, like online bullying is just fucking, it's relentless.
Yeah,
because
it's a bit far.
Like
too much.
You don't get to go home. Like you don't get to get away from it really.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just go out into the woods and turn your phone off and then you're away, but then they might be hiding behind a tree. Yeah. You could get lost.
There's trees. And there's trees.
Okay. Well, I don't really have a bold statement of the day other than there's an article. This will be a good transition, actually. My bold statement of the day is going to be that COVID could have possibly been ended in 2020. At least the COVID that we know of, like today. So I listened to this guy.
Right into COVID.
Yeah, dude, we'll jump right into the nitty gritty, dude. But I listened to this guy on the Joe Rogan podcast, and his name is Epstein. It's not.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey.
Huh?
Isn't it Jeffrey Epstein?
Is that what his
name? Not Epstein. It's not the dude that went to prison for like sex trafficking.
It's not that one.
Yeah, because he's dead. So that would have been a pretty impressive podcast.
It's Robert Epstein or Epstein, whatever. I don't know how to say his damn name. It's a different name. But did you listen to this podcast?
I don't think so.
Okay. So he does a lot of research, and most of it is in relation to like he's a statistician essentially. But he looks into like Google and all of that stuff and how manipulative they are. But I was just looking through his institute, I guess it's called the American Institute of Behavioral Research and Technology, and it's a nonprofit that he started. And one of the things that they started research on was, it's called the Carrier Separation Plan, the CSP. And this is a plan to essentially eradicate COVID rapidly. So what they would do is they would have the testing companies produce like ridiculous amounts of testing, at-home testing. And then they would ship it to everyone in the country. And then with the president and the governors and then influential people like in social media, and everything like that. They would get everyone together and not together, but they would have everyone create a national testing day. And so there's one day where everyone tests for COVID. And then the people that have COVID quarantine for 2 to 3 weeks. And then the people that don't just return back to society and continue on with their life without masks because they don't necessarily have COVID. And this, he ran a bunch of statistical analysis, C's, whatever, on this.
LSI.
Yeah, analysis. No, I don't think that's right either. But they found out that even if you only got like a majority of people in the country to do it, it would still reduce COVID to something that was nearly unnoticeable. And it was just this one practice. And this was posted March 25th of 2020.
Almost a year. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Literally like
right when
it started.
That was like right when it started, yeah.
Yeah, so like only 2 or 3 weeks into the shutdowns. I think probably 2 weeks into the shutdowns, they came out with this plan.
Good plan.
Yeah.
I thought we didn't. Well, I know this is wrong, but I thought we didn't have tests back then, though.
No, that's what they didn't say, that we had tests right then. So what they said was that they were essentially sending this to government officials saying, this is what you should do. And the plan was to get companies to create these things really quickly. And it says here, he said that hundreds of millions of these devices can be manufactured in a matter of weeks at low cost. And these devices can be distributed by mail to every household in America in a matter of days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like anything except what we did would have been better.
Literally. I think literally anything. Yeah. No, there's so many prolonged problems from what's happening. Like the other thing that I looked at, that is, really alarming it's not necessarily alarming, but it's going to suck for a little while, is that the Fed is looking to increase interest rates now, because of pretty much how much liquidity we've put into the economy. So over the past year and a half, we've printed over 40% of all the money in circulation.
Saw that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Which is just ridiculous, especially when we're ridiculous amounts of money in debt. So there, some of it was necessary, but I heard this on the All In podcast, but one of the guys on the All In podcast said that after the first set of checks, people had returned to spending, and spending was actually up 15%. So at that point, there was no reason to dump more money into the economy because people were already spending money.
Right.
So, they're doing all sorts of interesting things, and now we're at the point where the Fed has to be really careful about the decisions that they make, because it's very possible that they could just dump us into a pretty deep recession if they raise interest rates too quickly. We've already seen, I don't know how your Dogecoin is doing. Is that your only
Not
investment
great
right now?
Well, I have ETFs and stuff as well.
Okay.
But that's my only risky investment.
Okay, what kind of
I have large company, small company.
So how are your ETFs doing right now?
They were not doing great.
Yeah.
For the last 2 weeks, but now they're going back up.
Right. All of that is really interesting because the Fed hasn't increased interest rates yet.
Right.
So all of that is just signaling from the Fed saying that they're going to increase interest rates in the future. They're saying in March that they're going to do it. But all of this, like all growth stocks, like shit the bed. I had $100,000 swing in one day with my investment, which was like
at $100.
Yeah.
I don't have that much in.
Well, that's but
percentage wise, it was probably the same.
Yeah, no, it was pretty close. Probably not the same considering I'm all in on one stock, which is Tesla.
Right.
And that's a high growth stock. So high growth stocks get hit really quickly when interest rates go up because there's less growth possibility. There's less liquidity. People aren't investing as much. People aren't buying cars and stuff like that. The luxury purchases go down when interest rates go up because the money is more expensive. So growth stocks really get hit, but the whole economy got hit pretty good. And this is another thing that I heard from the All In podcast. Chamath said, like, they've already eviscerated like $10 trillion worth of capital just by signaling that they were going to increase rates. So he's saying that there's not really a necessity to increase rates anymore because they've already done that. But, and there's so much that goes into, I can't even imagine what it, like, it seems like these people are just coming up with these ideas willy-nilly.
Right.
Yeah. I know that there's like economic stuff behind it, that like math and stuff that backs it. But when you look at it, you're just like, they're just guessing.
Yeah. I also just don't know if we have the right dude to lead us into that.
Are you talking about president or the Fed chief? Yeah. Well, I would agree. I don't think our president is the best guy to do this, but it's what we've got right now. But you want to hear, like, do you know how the Fed works?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't really totally either, but right now, yeah, exactly. They own $9 trillion. So this is how they would take money out of the markets. And this is, so this is all confusing because I think this is actually the Federal Reserve, and then the Fed changes rates separately. So these are two separate things, but the Fed owns $9 trillion in assets. And the way that they take money out of the market is by selling those assets into the economy. People buy them and then they just hold that money, and then that money is no longer in the economy.
Interesting.
I thought that was really interesting, which is a way to, decrease inflation.
Right.
And then they would do vice versa if they need to increase inflation or, drive more monetary interest. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Yeah. But, I sat down for like fucking 45 minutes and read about all of this. And then as soon as I start thinking about it on this, I'm like, I don't know what I just read.
It's because you're illiterate.
I know I'm illiterate, dude, but I'm working on it. I read 5 pages a night, dude.
5?
Yeah, well, I'm starting, you got to get into the mode first. I don't want to kill myself because I always do that. Like I'm going to go fucking run, and then I run 7 miles, and then I can't run for 12 days after that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But now I run Monday, Wednesday, Friday consistently.
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm running miles, baby.
Yeah, how long? 2?
No, dude. This morning I ran 4.5 miles.
That's 4.5 more miles than I ran this morning.
Yeah, at a 7:30 pace.
That's quick.
Yeah. And my last mile, when I looked down at my watch to end my run, I was running a 5:55 pace.
But you
was
just finished hard.
I was sprinting, dude, and
You had to finish hard
I was crying.
that's the PTSD. That's the PTSD from soccer
I
right
know,
there.
dude. Seriously, every
Of
time
like,
I get to my road, because I end all of my runs at my
yeah,
gate. Like no matter
yeah,
how far I run, I end them at my gate. As soon as I get to my road's 800 feet long. I just sprint the
yeah,
whole goddamn
yeah.
road.
You have to. You have to. You have to finish it out.
Yeah, it's
If you
like,
don't, then you won't make the time, and then everyone else will have to do another lap,
oh my
and then
god,
everyone hates you because you're slow. And oh man,
that anxiety builds up, and you're like, drive your knees, drive your knees.
oh, just don't tear your hamstrings. Gosh, yeah, I have so much PTSD from fitness.
I know. Speaking of
Brutal.
that, so are you're gonna get fat again now, huh?
Dude, so fat.
That's sick.
No, I'm not gonna get fat.
Why
I'll
not?
probably be more in shape
That's true. You're gonna be like a
than I
power
was
lifter now, huh?
CrossFit.
What's the difference?
What's the difference between what?
A power lifter and a CrossFit athlete.
Well, power lifter, they are all about exercising in the anaerobic um, ATP CP, which is the adenosine triphosphate creatine phosphate system. So that's all like you're sprinting. So for like a runner, it'd be like you're sprinting. For powerlifting, it's like your 1 rep, 2 rep, 3 rep max.
Okay.
Whereas CrossFit, it's like more of a glycolytic setting or oxidative.
Made it up.
So that's so glycolytic is like in your your second. So like it's like 10 seconds to like 90 seconds of energy. So it's like your 400-meter running. And then oxidative is anything past that. So like your long range stuff. So that's where like
Dude, I'm
CrossFit
oxidating
incorporates.
shit right now.
Yeah, you're probably type 1 muscle just all the way up your kazoo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I go 0 to 60 in 300 seconds.
Yeah, you were always pretty slow.
No, that is so not true though. I wasn't the fastest, but I wasn't slow, dude. And I got long legs.
Yeah, that's probably
I'll
what
slide
takes you so
tackle the
long to
hell
get
out of you.
going.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah, I'm
was.
sure you would.
Yeah, my
Or
hips.
you would just slip and break your hand on the ground like you always did.
No,
as
I
well.
didn't break my hand on the ground slipping. I punched it.
Well, that's yeah.
I punched
Well, yeah,
frozen
obviously.
ground.
Right.
Those are
right.
very different.
Yep, you were always the smartest one. Anyway, yeah, so CrossFit's awesome because it incorporates the powerlifting, and then it also trains your glycolytic and oxidative system, so you're in overall just good shape. Whereas if like cross country runners, like just running that much, all they do is like 80% of what they do is training oxidative. So if you ask them to like sprint a 100-meter, it's not going to be good.
Right. So how do you like?
Whereas if you ask a sprinter to run 6 miles, it's not going to go well.
No, it's not going to go
myself.
Well. Yeah. Well, I think you're talking more of like a 20-yard sprint for yourself, but
I could do a 100-meter and call it a day.
Yeah, you're calling it a day though.
No, I could do a 100-meter walk back and do another 100-meter.
2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's respect.
Yeah. That's because I was training in the ATP CP, the creatine phosphate system. So I only have 10 seconds of energy. I only have 10 seconds of energy.
You're fucking like you're like a robot character from a movie.
I'm a textbook.
ATP PCTT.
ATP CP.
PTT. Okay. Well, moving on from that boring shit.
Oh man, I almost fell asleep during your stock talk.
That's fair.
Evan's stock talk.
It dragged on a little bit, but
I didn't even plan that. That was all just off the brim.
It's called a cuff.
Off the brim.
So, dude, this is actually pretty crazy. There's a biotech lab called Atlus Labs that just got $3 billion in funding, which is unheard of. Like, that's a ridiculous amount of money. But essentially, what they're doing is cell rejuvenation, which is
Oh yeah.
lengthening. God, I keep getting text messages, and they're gonna pop up in the video. They're lengthening
Hopefully they're not
lifespan.
dirty.
They're not.
Sorry, what?
They're not.
That's good.
They're lifespan lengthening. So they tested these rats, and with all mammals, you can see how old the mammal is based on like signatures in the blood, essentially.
Hmm.
And so they tested the blood to figure out how old the rat is, and then or mice or whatever they used, and then they inserted these. I forgot what they called them.
mRNA vaccines.
No, definitely not that. They've got this strange name, but they just essentially they insert. Oh my god! Injected this stuff into the rats, and it made them younger.
That's wild.
And so all of these
Like,
billionaires, like Jeff Bezos and Yuri Milner, are investing in this because they're like, well, I have all of the money. Now I want all of the time.
dude, I understand for them. Like, they're living like kings every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why people are so scared and like don't want to die.
Yeah. I just think that it's like a very nuanced thing. Like there's so much like
Like,
each person's reason for being scared of dying is probably a little bit different.
right. But like, so you take Jeff Bezos, for example. How old's the man? Like 60,
I think he's 50 something.
50 something? Okay. So did these like cell regeneration things, keep the do they make you younger in terms of like youth of like your muscles and
Yeah.
like your physiological stuff?
Yeah.
They do?
Yep.
But he's still gonna look 50 something, right?
No. No, they're
It's
at
gonna be like a Benjamin Button?
they're literally working on reversing aging.
Okay, so that begs the question, does that reverse the aging of your like brain and like brain cells?
Well,
So
yeah,
like when he
it's
takes
going
these,
to
is he
end
gonna
up
be like a 2-year-old again?
No, I think the more likely scenario is that your body's going to be kicking it and then you're going to have Alzheimer's.
Mm.
Or some.
So you think it'll backfire and then they'll get Alzheimer's anyway?
No, well, I'm just saying that I think that this is going to lead us into having to do more research into like cancer and Alzheimer's and things like that because we're going to be able to lengthen the lifespan, but we're also going to have to worry about those diseases more because as you age, like cancer is going to be more consistent.
Well, yeah, if everyone lived, my sister actually told me this today.
Yeah.
If everyone lived 300 years, everyone would die from cancer.
Not even that long. I don't even think it's
Well,
300 years.
yeah, it was just an example. Like if you live
Yeah,
way
so bad
long, then you're
number,
gonna die
but
from
that's
cancer.
okay. Um, I wonder, I don't know what the stat is on how many people, but I think like by the time you're in your 90s, there's a large majority of people that have cancer.
Well, you have cancer.
I probably do.
No, everyone does.
No, I probably have brain cancer
No,
or colon,
probably not. Probably not.
pancreatic.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have cancer cells in those areas, but they haven't developed into full blown cancer.
Yeah. Well,
That's so everyone has cancer cells.
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's 58. And the boy was
Oh,
born in
perfect.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. So what are you doing?
Bezos was?
Yes.
I wasn't born in Albuquerque. You were born in Albuquerque. Therefore, what are you doing?
Well, I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
fucking trying to get you down here so that we can do this podcast in person.
Right. But I'm up in Montana
Yeah, and that
because I'm a rancher.
I mean, the furthest thing from a goddamn rancher, I think, is that's possible.
I ride a horse to school.
Dude, you would shit your pants if you got on a horse.
I've never ridden a horse.
No, there's no way you have. The way that
I
you
actually had to
ran
go to
away from that spider that was on our window at
that was
Valentine,
a dragon.
no, it proved to me that you had never ridden a horse. I never
That was
had
a
to,
dragon.
from that point on, I said, Peter has never ridden a horse.
That was a dragon, not a spider.
That was not a dragon. You
It
also call
was.
moths dragons. And that was the
Yeah.
smallest jumping spider I've ever seen in my life.
Well, moths honestly could be a descendant of the prehistoric dragon.
Uh, no, they can't.
Yeah,
No, they're
I honestly think so.
they're insects. It's a different thing.
Uh-uh.
Yes.
Just the
Moths
width
are
and like
the width.
the width and breadth of their wings. Like, I don't think you understand how similar they are to dragons.
I also don't think you understand that dragons aren't real and have never
Okay.
been real.
Also, how weird, because you've killed a moth before, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't kill
Well, you
living
have.
things.
Well, you just said you'd run over a squirrel. So, um, how weird is it that like moths are literally just dust?
Well, that's
Like when you,
that's what we all are.
well, obviously, yeah,
We're
but
just
like
all
when you,
carbon beings.
well, yeah. But like when you kill like a fly, there's like guts and stuff. But like when you kill a moth, it's literally just like a stain on your wall of dust.
No, there's some goops.
I don't know, man.
Dude, I've
I
slapped them
don't.
in between my hands. There's some goops.
Is there
Yeah,
goops?
there's some goops.
Okay, well, 99% of them are dust, and that's crazy. And that's
Yeah.
why they're descendants from the dragon. Because the dragon breathes fire and smoke. Therefore, moths come from smoke and dust. Fact check it.
I don't even know what happened, but somehow when you were talking, my brain just shit itself. I just like stopped
That
thinking because
that sounds like a you problem, not a
no,
me
it was
problem.
because of what you were saying. It just
I
quit.
don't know, man. No.
Okay, you want to hear something really interesting? This is really
Dude,
interesting.
I just said the most interesting thing on this
No,
podcast, but
dude,
go for it.
no one cares about dust. Um,
I think everyone should care about dust.
but
Gives people allergies.
In early January, there was the first pig heart transplant that was successful.
I did see your article on this.
Right.
I didn't read it though. I just saw the headline.
Well, then you
Pretty sure
know
it's
the
fake.
whole thing. No, it's not fake. So the guy that received the heart transplant was David Bennett.
David Beckham?
No, oh God,
Oh.
no. But this guy, when he was in his 20s, brutally stabbed a man at a bar like 7 or 8 times. When he was 23. And this, oh my God, dude. And this article gets really dark because they interviewed like one of the relatives of the guy who got stabbed. And apparently it just like kind of tore their family apart, like having to deal with him after he got stabbed.
Was he just a handful or what?
I don't
Just high
know,
maintenance?
but he died. He died like 8. I can't find. Goddamn.
Question. Was he stabbed in the heart? Because that's some serious irony. If he was stabbed in the heart and then the guy that stabbed him had to get a pig heart for a heart.
I don't think he was stabbed in the heart, but he was stabbed in the back.
Stuff. Were they friends?
No, I don't think they knew each other.
It always hurts more when friends stab you in the back.
Yeah, Peter, how many times have you been stabbed in the back by a friend? You fucking
Figuratively or literally?
both, dude. I would say less than 2 times.
Figuratively?
Oh my God.
One of my friends used my own saxophone case to shove me into the wall of a school bus when I was in middle school. That's one.
That's not being stabbed in the back.
No, I know, because it was a saxophone. It wasn't a knife.
No,
but he
no, no,
used
no.
my own. He no
But
no no. He used my own saxophone and trust that I gave him to use my saxophone and stabbed me with it.
I don't.
You you
That's
can do with that what you'd want.
oh, that's just like the fucking most nerdy thing that could have happened to you. Like, not even playing the saxophone and being fat was nerdy, but getting pushed into the side of the bus by your own saxophone case is the nerdiest thing you could have done.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
I,
Well, let's
but I
transition
threw for
on.
3 touchdowns at the on recess that day, so that's not nerdy. What
I
up?
mean, why, and how would you ever remember that?
Because I averaged like 3 touchdowns a recess throughout my school year, so I figured that
So you're
around
just
there.
assuming, like you have no idea. I mean, that could have been your off day. You could have thrown for 0 that day.
Yeah, I mean, could have, but it would have been.
So you're just coming
If
out
I threw
with
for no. If I threw for 0 touchdowns, that's just not an off day. That's like I played Foursquare or something day. That's not like every single time I went out to play recess football. It was
yeah, but you
at
had to be the
least
quarterback, huh?
yeah. I couldn't run,
Yeah.
so I had a cannon for an arm though. Powerful is what they called me.
I don't know. That's what they called you.
Well, it's because I was fat, so it was like thick power.
Okay. Do you want to go into some
Okay.
of your information that you brought on along here?
Sure, I
Are
guess.
you interested in talking about some of your stuff?
Dude, sports, man. I'm
Sports.
always interested about talking about sports.
I see that you didn't cite any of your sources, so
Um, I did. It's just not in any sort of format.
so what are we doing? So are you down there at the end? Are you arguing for who's the greatest?
Yeah,
Interesting.
but that was my second topic. Would you just let me?
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
just let me introduce it?
No,
Oh,
yeah, go
okay.
for it.
Well, my first topic was it's a conversation for sure. It's a conversation no one wants to talk about, Devin,
All right.
because
Let's hear it, Joe Rogan.
not Joe Rogan. I'm Peter Byrne. All right. I was just posing the question and thought process of so you know how everyone listens to the CDC, right?
Mm-hmm.
When everyone says we're going back to COVID. So when everyone like looks at COVID stuff, they always cite the CDC. The CDC said blank. The CDC said blank. The CDC said blank. Anyway, what people don't actually look at and what is not being talked about is the importance of exercise in Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So, brings me to the fact that the CDC says that 32% of adults are obese.
31.9, but I see what you're saying.
I'm rounding up. Can you take that off so you can't see it, please?
Yeah, there you go.
And then 31 million adults have heart disease. Okay. And what we know from COVID is that these are comorbidities, right? Obesity and heart disease. In fact, 58% of the comorbidities that people have with COVID are heart disease, and then 30% more are type 2 diabetes,
Do those
which
get put
is
on top of each other? Like, do you
yeah, so
stack
it'll
those so
like
you'll have multiple comorbidities?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
because
essentially like
that would be 90% of the people that died if it wasn't. Sorry, I'm just
yeah,
thinking.
I mean, well you can have heart disease and type 2 diabetic.
Hell yeah,
So, I mean, a lot of people would.
yeah.
Um but then so like another realm that you could take with it is like as the graphs would show on the CDC website, like these have all taken just a dramatic uptick in the last like 5-10 years.
Right.
Um, So, in addition to those, 20% of adults also say that they're depressed. So that's 1 in 5 people.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's such a
which
loose
is
term.
it's such a loose term, right?
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Like
like,
the depression thing is difficult for me because I can fucking be sad and not be
well,
depressed. And I
well,
don't
yeah,
know that
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
knows that.
But I feel like if it's the CDC reporting that figure, then I feel like it's
Clinical
like
depression?
clinical. Yeah.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, but
So
also, like, are they getting those stats because of how much prescriptions they're subscribing to people who have depression?
I don't know, but the uptick in depression was like it's doubled in the last like 10 years.
Right, which is easily correlatable to the rise of social media
Right.
and internet. Dude,
Right.
I don't care, man. You said grass, not graphs.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Well, grass is green on the other side. Anyway,
As it comes down.
as it comes down. But okay, so if you go to the CDC website right now,
Hmm.
I know you won't, but
I can. You want
you
me to?
listened.
I got it.
No, it's fine. Um, all you see, well, I guess you can see this if you're gonna go to it,
I'm
but
going to.
all you see is like information to about COVID.
Oh, yeah. Lots of
Like all
COVID.
you see, lots of COVID. How to
Omicron,
get
testing,
vaccinated.
food safety and eating out. We got food safety and eating out, but that's relating to
That's actually
COVID.
impressive.
Um,
Yeah, that
and
is related to
winter
it.
weather. How to stay safe during winter storms. So you're fucking wrong.
That's that's because on the East Coast right now, there's a huge, massive winter storm, and CDC's on the East Coast. That's a biased
But
information from the
but
CDC.
also not a disease.
Oh, but it's the Center for Disease Control, so they have to report on winter weather.
Why? That's not a disease. Being cold isn't a disease.
But if you're vaccinated, then
Oh, you're right. You're right.
you're going to be better off in the winter storm.
Yep, that's true. I forgot about that, dude. Your boy stays warm with that vaccine.
Anyway, so this all relates to exercise because no one, like when COVID first happened, and still now, no one is talking about, like, no one in politics is talking about, like,
That's not true though. Who's the
what?
most watched media figure?
Probably CNN.
Nope.
Is it Fox?
Nope.
Is it me?
Close.
The Joe?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
By like
no one, no one that is supposedly unbiased. How about that?
so are you supposedly unbiased as in they are
As in,
biased, but
as
they try and portray that they're not biased?
well, okay. What I'm saying is like none of our like nation's leaders in terms of like politics. And I know Joe Rogan doesn't fit that, but like Joe Rogan is also
Right. Well, this is what Joe Rogan has been saying from the beginning is that there's no one who there's no one other than him really or other
right.
podcasters that are saying, "Hey, get vitamin D, get vitamin C, get all this other shit that
Yeah.
helps you with
Yeah.
COVID. Go run, go fucking go for a walk, do sit-ups, do push-ups, like get into shape." No one
Right.
no one is saying that because and there's so many fucked up problems with it. There's so much manipulation that's happening that no one knows about.
But my whole point is like the CDC website literally gives out guidelines for exercise. So I'm just like, why do people follow the guidelines for COVID, but they don't follow the guidelines for exercise?
That's a great question. It's because no one. Did I close it? God damn it! It's because no one talks about it, like you said,
Right. But why? Like, why is
because it's
that?
not advantageous
Like,
for them. Because
well,
it
that's
doesn't.
stupid.
No, well, yeah, it is stupid.
That's ridiculous. If
Well, the
like,
the problem is they're empowering people to better themselves rather than saying you have to come to me to know what you need to do to get better.
right. So why is no one doing anything about that? We
Because
should. We should.
everyone is at that stage except for fucking Joe Rogan and podcasters and like Glenn Greenwald and like there's a bunch of Matt Taibbi, there's a bunch of like independent journalists that are talking about this shit, but the Have you seen the video of all of the news networks and stuff that are paid off by Pfizer?
No.
So there's a compilation of ads literally run on networks. It says brought to you by Pfizer.
Beautiful.
And then we wonder why nothing else is talked about except for vaccines and how many people have died. It's because, I mean,
Right.
these people are just looking to fucking make money off of all this shit. For one, the people who made the vaccines didn't have to pay for any research and development because the government funded it. And then two, they're selling it to the government. So they didn't have to pay for research and development, and then they're selling billions of dollars of fucking vaccines.
Greatest business plan
Yeah,
ever.
no, it legitimately is. But the problem is they're a business that has shareholders as well. And
Right.
any business that has shareholders has a shareholder interest to constantly increase your bottom line and constantly make money. So
Right.
when you have something where you literally don't have to pay for research and development, there's no fucking cost to this for you, and then you're selling billions of them because the government is mandating it, you can't make more money than that.
Mm.
Like it's not possible for them. So they're like fucked because their sales can like only go down.
Interesting. People should exercise.
Oh, I fucking totally agree, dude. Your boy got up and ran this morning. Ugh.
People should exercise.
Yeah. Don't be
I
fat.
don't understand. Like being fat can't be happy. Like you can't be happy. But
We
that's also like a way to decrease. And I know
depression.
I'm not trying to be I'm not trying
Yeah.
to be insensitive, but their
Fact
mental
checked it.
illness, mental
Fact
health,
check it for one.
fact check.
Fact check it. But
Mental health and exercise are directly proportional.
correlated. There you go.
Yeah, proportional and correlated.
Is
Fact check it.
Can you use proportional in that sense? I don't know.
Probably. They're both math terms. I don't know why you couldn't.
It's like saying that's a billy goat when it's a
Mental,
dog.
mental health and exercise are directly multiplied. Same thing. Math term. Math term.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's just too much.
But the thing
There's
is,
too
so
much
like in
corruption and
California,
manipulation that we have no ability to see. Like here,
correct. Well, yeah,
I'll give
yeah.
you another instance of like ridiculous manipulation, and corruption. California gets $1 billion a year
Homeless people.
for
Yeah,
homeless
I've heard that
people,
one. Yeah,
and
Joe Rogan.
yeah, there you go. You listened. What episode was that on? But they
3,214.
oh, you're just like so fucking annoying.
That wasn't the right episode. I don't know.
I know because he hasn't done 3,000 episodes yet.
Oh,
He's at like 1,600, bro. Like, come on, get with it.
my bad, my bad. But do you know what else California's done?
What?
Do you remember like those? We read about this in one of my classes in like 2019. Do you remember like the fitness gram tests, like the push-ups, sit-ups
Yeah,
in grade
they
school?
got rid of it.
California's got rid of it. Like how, like,
Did 2.5 and couldn't get up.
but like that directly like doesn't support physical exercise.
Right.
Like you're literally just telling kids like, oh, like, sorry, this is gonna be insensitive, but like, sorry, oh, you're fat. Like, oh, it's okay. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, and Peter
You
can
don't have
say
to do
this because he
push-ups.
was a fat kid.
Well, yeah. Like I could, dude, I got like 3 push-ups and like maybe like 5 sit-ups on those things.
Yeah.
And that was with someone holding my feet. But like that's what I'm saying. Like, how are these people getting away with this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
It's crazy.
it's impossible to say, but there's so
It
many.
really is.
There's
Like,
so.
there's no money in that. There's no money in that.
Oh, I'm sure there is. There's political power in some way. There's.
Getting rid of fitness gram tests? You think there's money in that?
Oh well, yeah. Because if you're killing it as a politician, like if you're getting rid of the fitness gram test, it's also just the fucking school, whatever they're called, the school boards are just moronic at this point. But
So soft.
yeah,
So soft. There needs to be bullies, like we've already talked about.
yeah, we
Builds
need
character.
to work against cyberbullies, but
Well, yes, I agree. But in school,
like
bullies get in a fight
or have an older sibling. Like
or get slammed into a school
I would
bus.
have been so much better off if I had an older sibling. My dad
Yeah, you
my
wouldn't.
dad did pretty
You would have
good
been nicer.
at bullying me as well, but I also had a lot of school bullies. But I bullied the shit out of my younger brothers, and they're tough as shit.
Right.
I bullied
So
them
are
in
my
a
younger
loving
brothers.
way. So
Well, my sister's tough. I bullied her.
yeah, but she's older than you.
Well, yeah, kicked her ass multiple times.
Just sat on her when you were younger.
I made her cry a lot.
Yeah, I'm.
Looking back, I may feel a little bad, but she's stronger because of it. She's a strong and independent woman.
And she's married.
She is married.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Speak.
To a bald guy though, so
Yeah.
kind of a bummer. Like zero hair. Like
Is that genetic
shiny.
or is it a
Oh
choice?
yeah, it's genetic.
That's
No, it's
respect.
genetic.
Well,
Well, it's also a choice because like he's not fully bald yet, but he just committed to being bald.
oh yeah, no, but he's bald.
Well,
Like
he's very bald.
I don't. There's no. What I'm saying is, being a bald and not being bald are just like if you don't have some hair, you're pretty much bald.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
missing this, but you've got all of this, you're bald.
That's what he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bald.
Who's over there?
I thought I heard someone coming.
All right, let's get into your last topic. Let's
Yeah,
let's
my
go
last
for it.
topic. All right, Tom Brady just retired.
Yes, he did.
Do you know who that is, Devin?
God, no, I don't.
Okay, well, everyone listening to this podcast, so me and you and our girlfriends should know who that is.
Yeah, I know who Tom Brady
Because-
is. Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Anyway, let me just ramble off some statistics for you.
Let's see him.
The dude won 7 Super Bowls, okay? And that is 13% of all the Super Bowls ever.
Oh, that's a crazy stat.
Isn't that insane?
13% of all the Super Bowls.
He's won 13% of all Super Bowls.
It's really unfortunate because that's going to change like next weekend.
Well, yeah. But, like, that's cool right now.
That is cool right now.
That's cool.
That is crazy.
And I think he lost a few. I think he's been to 10.
That's
so he's
absurd.
been
That's
to
a
like
crazy.
20.
He has got a 70%. He has a 70% Super Bowl win ratio.
Yeah, dude. He went to 14 AFC championship games
Oh my
in
god,
22 seasons.
that's crazy. They almost won that one,
Which one?
or the not the AFC championship, but the game
Bucs.
before that. I think right.
The Bucks.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
they
they
come
almost
back
won.
or?
Yeah, they were down 27-3, I think.
Yeah,
And
then
almost
they came back right in the last second, and then they
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah. Heartbreaking. Anyway, all-time passing touchdown leader, all-time passing yards leader. 343 career wins. So let's do the math.
Oh my god,
343. Wait, it's 243, isn't it? It's 243.
243. Yeah,
That man won 11 games a year. That is more than
how many games do they play a year?
at Fort Lewis? 16.
They play 16 games a year, and he won 11 a year.
Yeah.
For how many years was he playing?
22 years. It probably counts playoff games. So at most 18, but like
Jesus.
yeah. And the problem is with sports,
Deflated the balls though, so.
oh, he cheated for sure. No. Okay, so then I did a little research on other people who are considered like the GOATs,
Goats.
right? You got Messi. I think we can
Mhm.
both agree that Messi is better than Ronaldo.
Yes, I agree.
7 Ballon d'Ors. that how you pronounce it? I've never known.
Did you just say blonde doors?
No, Ballon d'Ors. Dior's. I don't know what I said. How do you pronounce it?
The Ballon
Ballon.
d'Or.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ballon d'Or.
No, you just said blonde door.
I didn't say blonde door. I
You
was
said
mumbling.
blonde door.
Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or.
Okay, continue.
Okay. LeBron got 3 championships, 4 MVPs. Jordan, Michael Jordan,
Yep.
six championships. Oh, I just broke my headphones. 6 championships and 5 MVPs is what I got. But then you could
Right.
also throw Serena Williams in there.
Yes, you could.
You could also throw Tiger in there.
You could.
Don't know their exact. Tiger's in like the 20s or 30s, but of like career major championship wins. But that just begs the question, who is the greatest athlete of all time? Because no one will say Tom Brady.
You don't think anyone will say it is Tom Brady?
No, because he's not your like stereotypical athlete.
Yeah, he's got a huge forehead.
Well, yeah, you're not athletic and you have a giant head. So, but that's
That's really rude to say that I'm unathletic.
not that you have a giant head, just that you're unathletic.
Yeah. I've come
But
to
that's
grips with my head, not my athleticism.
I have a giant forehead.
Yeah, you just hide it, huh?
Hmm.
That's respect.
Yeah,
I should hide my head.
short paper sack.
So it's so difficult though to correlate across sport.
It is, but what
But I
is
mean,
the?
obviously, if you're the best at winning,
Then you've got to be the best athlete, or
right? But
not?
how many
Like you've
games
got
has
to be the.
Messi won? What are his ratios? Because
Well,
he's got 7 Ballon d'Ors as well.
but he's also probably played way more games.
Right. I'm not talking about total wins. I'm talking about
Also,
percentage.
oh, it's got to be high.
Right.
Also, Messi is never talked about in the greatest athlete of all time because he's not an American.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think. I wonder if that even is talked about in other countries. Whether they are like,
Probably just
oh, the
hands
best
down
athlete of
Messi.
all time, huh?
Probably just hands down Messi.
I suppose.
Don't you think? Unless they
Yeah,
say like Rafael Nadal or something.
that's true. He's fucking
He's
good
got a
too.
lot
Yeah, he can hit the balls. Have you seen him juggle the tennis balls?
with his hands,
No.
with his feet.
Yeah, he's like fucking good.
Really?
Yeah, the
Hmm,
boy's got techers.
that's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like something that because I'm looking at these and I like the LeBron and Jordan. I'm like, well, there's an interesting comparison because Jordan's got more MVPs, um,
And more
and
championships.
and championships. Yeah,
Like way
but
more.
LeBron's been to more championships, right?
LeBron's been to more.
He's been to like
LeBron's LeBron's had worse teams.
right.
LeBron's also averaged like 28 points throughout his whole entire career, and he's on year 22.
Yeah, but the game also has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Like they're scoring much more.
yeah,
There's less defense.
yeah,
I mean, it's hard to play defense. Like it becomes like a linebacker running into a linebacker in basketball, doesn't
yeah. And
it?
then they just call a foul because someone touched him.
Because they're all huge.
Yeah, I mean
Like they're
LeBron's
all
LeBron's 6'9",
6'9".
250,
Yeah. I mean,
something like
that's
that.
a wall.
Yeah,
That's like something that I would put in to hold up my roof.
a beam,
Yeah,
a
exactly.
supporting
A
beam.
pylon. But I
I
don't
just
even
don't.
like
I
if
just
I
don't
look at the
understand.
basketball versus soccer, I have no idea how to fucking compare them. I have no idea.
Right, right,
There's such different sports. The basketball court is fucking tiny compared to a soccer field,
right.
and it requires hands, which everyone knows how to use unless you're
No,
a
no,
paraplegic.
no.
Yeah,
Dude.
no, everyone knows how to use their hands to an extent.
Okay. I thought you meant like has good hand-eye coordination. I was like,
No,
no,
no, no, no. I'm
no.
just
Have you
saying
seen you try and catch a ball?
I can fucking catch a ball, dude.
No, you can't.
Yeah, dude, I can catch a ball.
Have you
I could
seen
have
an
been a
internet?
basketball player or a football
Have you
player.
seen like a person from
No,
England growing up playing soccer try and catch a ball?
yeah, I saw Church try and catch a ball. Um, all I'm saying is that like the majority of people, if you tested hand-eye coordination versus foot-eye coordination, hand-eye coordination is going to be much higher.
I disagree.
Really?
You said majority of people.
Yeah.
Think about how many people in this world play soccer rather than a hand-eye coordinated sport.
I still agree.
Really?
Yeah, because
I
everyone
disagree.
uses their hands to fucking eat and
I use my feet to eat. I don't.
oh my god. You're a fucking
I would think.
monkey. Huh?
I think
Albino monkey?
albino monkey. I think that a majority of people would probably be more sufficient with their foot-eye coordination than they would with their hand-eye coordination. And that's my bold statement of the day,
It's
number 2.
possible. That is another bold statement. I don't like it, but it's possible.
You don't like any of my bold statements.
What? I liked your other bold statement.
Hmm.
My mic is falling again.
Is that a sign to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done.
Okay.
Can you hear me adjusting it?
Yes.
Okay, well. Thank you guys for tuning in to You Should Fact Check This. And
We'll get better.
yeah.
We'll get better.
No, it'll get better and no one will watch this one, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But we're just gonna consistently do this
Once a
and
week.
yeah, and just have fun with it. But yeah, other than that, just I mean, if you did listen to this one and you made it this far, you must subscribe. Yeah, well, you know,
You
we're
must.
not all good at things. Okay.
And you must get a life because that's
No, I mean,
no.
no, your life is here with us now, so
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Join the party.
Yeah, join the fact check this gang.
This gang.
We got to come up with a better
Hashtag fact check this.
group.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out on the to-do list.
But yeah, if you're here, please like and subscribe, and share it with a dead relative, because that'll
Take them
really help
flowers
our
and take them a Bluetooth speaker and play this over your speaker.
yeah, exactly, and bump it in that fucking morgue. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you for listening. We will see you in the next episode.
So 2.
What did you just say?
I said episode 2.
Episode 2. I thought you said so too.
So 2.
Like you were Chinese.
No.
Or Japanese, you know? I don't discriminate. All right. Probably should cut that part out, but all righty.